Morning. Today we are talking about solving multi-step equations. Multi-step meaning more than one. 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 steps to solve these equations. Now before we can do that, I did want to spend a little bit of time reviewing on two concepts. The first one, combining like terms. Now, we talked about this last chapter, identifying what terms are like. There's two things that need to be in line that we can add these like terms together. The first thing, same variable. That means the same letter is there. Whether they're x's or y's or z's or a's or b's or some other thing you want to use, they have to be the same. The second part, the same exponent. So x to the first plus x to the first, we can add those. X to the seconds and x to the thirds, we cannot because they're not the same exponent. If they're the same variable and same exponent, we combine the coefficients, the numbers out in front. So, here's a little review problem. We have 3x minus 7 minus x plus 9. Combine your like terms. We have these x's, 3x minus an x. We can combine these to make this 2x. Then we can combine the negative 7 and positive 9. Negative 7 plus 9 is 2. That is as far as we can go with that. We cannot combine this anymore because, again, this does not have a variable. So therefore, we cannot combine this 2 and that 2. We can combine this 3 and negative 1. Like variable, same exponent. And these are just constants. So we can always combine those. So problems that we're going to see, combining like terms, we're going to want to do that first. So now, we're going to jump down to number 4 in your notes. 11n minus 8 minus 6n equals 22. And in your notes that should be a 6n instead of m. Now, we look at this. Before we add opposites or multiply or divide like we've been doing in the past, we're going to draw that line down the middle of the equal sign. Now, I see my variables are on the left. Now, as I'm looking at this, I see 3 terms here instead of just 2. But if you notice, that's an n and that's an n. So if we see this, if we see like terms on the same side, we simply combine them. 11n minus 6n is 5n. We took care of those things. We still have this minus 8. This problem that started as 11n minus 8 minus 6n is now just down to 5n minus 8 equals 22. We've done this in the last section. Now, just like before, we add opposites. We now have 5n equals 30. Divide by 5, and we get n equals 6. We started by combining our like terms. That's what we're looking to do if they're on the same side. Add our opposites, and then we divide. We're going to jump ahead to number 5. Now, as I'm going through these, you should be thinking mentally, what can I do first? So number 5 was negative 2y plus 5 plus 5y equals 14. There's my line. Nothing's here on the right, only the 14. So again, we're looking at things on the left. Again, I see like terms, y's and y's. Negative 2 and 5 is a positive 3y. Carry down the 5, carry down the 14. Combine or add opposites. negative 5, and negative 5. These are on opposite sides, we add opposites. 3y equals 9, and your last step, we divide by 3. And we do get y equals 3. There's number 6 and 7 there. I want you to try them on your own. Okay. Even though they're decimals in number 7, you're still going to do it the same way. Now let's skip ahead. The next part says distribution. Now, thinking about distribution, and again, we've worked with this quite extensively over the last couple of years in math, hopefully. Distribution. What if we have something like this? And this was problem 8 in your notes. 7 parentheses 3x minus 4. What is this 7 doing to this set of parentheses? What operation is there? If you don't see a plus or minus or division sign, we have to assume it's multiplication. So we need to multiply this 7 to the 3x and this 7 to the negative 4. 7 times 3x is 21x. 7 times negative 4 is a negative 28. What we did, we just multiplied these two terms both by a quantity of 7. That's the distributive property. Let's look at number 10 from our notes. Whenever we see this distribution, or these parentheses, we want to get rid of the parentheses to simplify our problem. So this was number 10 from our notes. Negative 8, parentheses, 2x minus 1 equals 36. Now this negative 8, this negative goes with the 8. It doesn't go with what the 8 is doing to this. This is still multiplication. I want to take the negative 8 times the 2x, and I want to take the negative 8 times the negative 1. Negative 8 times 2x is negative 16x. Negative 8 times negative 1 is a positive 8. Equals 36. This problem is just like the ones we've been doing this past week. Our two-step equations. So this was our first step. We distributed. Now we want to solve this like we did before. We still have the x's on the left-hand side. So we want to add opposites to take them away. Adding negative 8. Negative 16x equals, I think, 28. We now divide by negative 16. And I know 28 divided by negative 16, that's not going to give me an integer. So I want to reduce this. What number goes into both 28 and 16? I know I can divide both of these by 4. 28 divided by 4 is negative 7. 16 divided by 4 is 4. Now again, I prefer fractions. It's a lot easier working with fractions than decimals. But if you want to use your calculator to divide 28 divided by negative 16, you could also write negative 1.75 as your answer. And that would be correct. So, summing up this lesson, we're still incorporating those rules that we're using before in solving equations. Adding opposites and then multiplying or dividing. That, though, comes at the end. Our first steps to solving these multi-step equations is like in this one, distributing, getting rid of these parentheses. We don't like to see them right now. We want to get rid of them. Or combining your like terms. So do that first, and the rest will fall in place. It'll be just like we did before. Hopefully this helps, and I'll see you next time.